Hey everybody, this is the Patzer, and this is the chess.com puzzle for February 23rd, 2019. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you how chess.com solves this puzzle, and then I'm going to show you, as usual, how the Stockfish chess engine plays itself in this situation. And it's pretty interesting how different these two results turn out to be. Okay, so as you can see, and by the way, as a patzer, I look at a situation like this and I really have no idea what chess.com is going for here. Are they going for a stalemate? White is it's certainly at a disadvantage. Black is up in material a little bit, and it's got two pawns just waiting to promote themselves. So my feeling was that White was not in a good situation here, and it was going to take a miracle for anything good to happen. But as you'll see, obviously the pawn in the one white pawn that's in the best position to promote itself moves forward, and the black king decides to intercept it. It goes ahead and promotes itself. The king takes it, and now the white king moves over with the idea that the white rook can then move to the top of the G rank there to G8, and it'll be mate. So the black bishop does what it has to in this situation, which is to cover that space, and then the white king moves over so that the rook can now do just the reverse. It can go horizontally instead of vertically, move over to the A4 and mate that way. So the bishop races back and covers that space to handle that contingency. The the white rook then moves down a space and says, okay, fine. If I can't do it via the A4, I'll do it via A3. And in that case, black promotes its pawn and promotes it to a knight, thereby covering the A3 space. And then the rook moves up to G5 and says, okay, guys, how about I move over to the A5 space? How are you going to cover that? And so black says, well, we'll just trip you up by putting this pawn in the way. And then the white king moves back over and says, okay, rook, head on back to G8 for mate. And the black bishop reacts by saying, okay, I got G8 covered. The rook then goes ahead and takes the pawn, and now it looks like it's going to mate via moving up to F8. So the black knight gets in the way, and in this case the white king moves over and says, okay, rook, let's do this via the A5 space. And at which point black decides, oh well, I guess I'll promote this pawn, but of course it's too late, and it's checkmate. So that was kind of cool. I didn't know how this was going to work. I did not solve this puzzle. I'm a patzer. I was just not up to solving this. However, I'm always interested to see how Stockfish will play the same situation. That's basically why I do these things. So here we are. Here's the very same situation, and here's how Stockfish plays it. Again, we've got that white pawn ready to promote itself. That looks like white's best hope in this situation. And here, surprisingly enough, black goes ahead and promotes that pawn. So now, before white can even get a queen on the board, black's already done so. But as it turns out, doesn't so much matter, because black is now having to dodge the white queen. So it does, and the white queen, not surprisingly, keeps pestering the black. And now, as you can see, now that's not too nice. White now has the opportunity to take the black queen entirely. And of course, if you're thinking, well, black can take the rook, true enough, And that's exactly what happens. But you know something? So what? White gets the bishop in the bargain, and you just know that the next thing that's going to happen is it's going to take that black pawn, get rid of it. So, and that's exactly what it does. The black king then returns to the pawn, hoping to be able to shepherd it to a promotion. But that doesn't seem too likely, as we see. And here I thought, well, okay, so, you know, black is now desperate, and that knight is just going to take that pawn and sacrifice itself. But who knows why the Stockfish engine works this way? It says, well, I've got one more clever move, which is that I'll protect the d7 space from promotion this way. So you know it wastes another move and ends up still sacrificing itself. And now it looks like you know, easy sailing for white, and sure enough, it is. So that's the way it works when Stockfish plays this particular endgame. Quite a bit different from the way Chess.com plays it, but I thought it was you know, much more interesting, certainly much more involved, and I thought it was pretty cool. So that's the puzzle for today. This is the Patzer, wishing you happy chess playing, and bye bye for now.